Ford is transforming its Oakville assembly plant in Ontario into an all-electric hub for vehicles and battery packs. Ford's Oakville assembly plant will be gutted and the campus reinvented as one of the automaker's largest electric vehicle campuses, making EVs and the battery packs that power them at the Canadian facility. Ford will spend $1.8 billion Canadian dollars, $1.3 billion, to transform the current buildings, which have built the Ford Edge and Lincoln Nautilus for about 15 years, into the renamed Oakville Electric Vehicle Complex. Retooling begins in the second quarter of 2024. A family of next-generation electric vehicles will be assembled at the Ontario facility with pre-production to begin in late 2024. The first vehicles will be on the road in 2025 and could include the Ford Explorer and Lincoln Aviator. Ford of Canada President and CEO Bev Goodman would not say how many or which vehicles we can expect to be assembled in Oakville. Nor will she say if the plans have been downgraded from the automaker's previously announced plans to make 5 different EVs for Ford in Oakville. The expectation is the plant will build electric versions of the Ford Explorer and Lincoln Aviator, whose launches have been delayed as Ford has juggled its manufacturing plans to satisfy demand for the unexpected popularity of the Mustang Mach-E. The 3-row SUVs initially were slated to be built in Cuautitlán, Mexico, alongside the Mach-E, but were left without a plant when Ford needed all the Mexican plant's capacity to fill Mach-E orders. Moving the Explorer and Aviator to Oakville means they won't be on the road until 2025. Former Lincoln President Joy Falotico, in 2021, said Lincoln would introduce 4 new EVs, the first to debut in 2022, to mark the brand's 100th anniversary. Lincoln plans to electrify its entire portfolio by 2030. The 4 EVs would come from Ford's new rear and all-wheel drive electric vehicle platform, meaning none would share the architecture used by the current Ford Mustang Mach-E. Lincoln currently has no pure EVs but does have plug-in hybrid versions of the Lincoln Aviator and the Lincoln Corsair. Oakville has about 3,000 employees, and while most will be furloughed in mid-2024 for the plant retooling, all should be able to return to work 6 months later, says Tony Savoni, Oakville plant manager. The transformation of the plant calls for consolidating 3 body shops into one, freeing up space to include a 407,000 square foot battery plant on the site. Ford will use cells from the Blue Oval SK Battery Park in Kentucky for the packs. With this investment, Ford says it is the first full-line automaker committed to making passenger EVs in Canada for the North American market. But it is not alone. Stellantis has pledged to make EVs at its Windsor and Brampton plants, both of which are also in Ontario. Ford is working to scale up its EV production and increase manufacturing efficiency to reduce costs and make EVs more accessible to customers, says Dave Nowitzki, Director of Manufacturing Operations, Battery and Electric Vehicles for Model E. Oakville, and construction of the Blue Oval City Complex in Tennessee to make next-generation electric trucks and battery packs, are among the latest moves by Ford to meet its goal of producing 2 million EVs a year, globally, by the end of 2026. Ford is spending $50 billion to meet this target and wants to take over as the top producer of EVs in the world. Ford is also transforming a site in Cologne, Germany, and building 2 battery assembly plants in Kentucky.